4 of the world's biggest names in rail. One contract. And a decision that is being made right now in Riyadh. Alstom, Siemens, Hitachi Rail, CRRC. Every major rail OEM on the planet submitted a bid for this project. That alone tells you something about the size of the opportunity. Riyadh Metro Line 7. 65 kilometers. 47 of those underground. 19 stations. A design-build contract worth an estimated $900 million, connecting some of Saudi Arabia's most ambitious giga-projects into a single automated metro line. Financial bids were opened in April 2026. Evaluation is ongoing. The contract award could come at any time. In the next 8 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what is being built, who is competing for it, and, most importantly, the strategic detail about this project that almost nobody in the industry is talking about. Let me start with the context. Because to understand Line 7, you need to understand what is happening in Riyadh right now. Saudi Arabia opened its Phase 1 metro network, 6 lines, 176 kilometers, 84 stations, in late 2024 and early 2025. It is one of the largest metro systems ever built. And it was delivered in under a decade. Line 7 is Phase 2, and it is fundamentally different from what came before. Phase 1 connected Riyadh's existing urban fabric. Line 7 connects the future. The route runs approximately 65 kilometers through the northwest quadrant of the capital. 47 kilometers underground. 19 kilometers elevated. 14 underground stations and 5 elevated stations, 19 total. But what makes this line strategically unique is what it serves. Qiddiya Entertainment City, a 334 square kilometer development being built as the entertainment capital of the Middle East. King Salman Park, one of the world's largest urban parks. King Abdullah International Gardens. Misk City, the young talent. T-Hub. And Diriyah Gate, the UNESCO-listed birthplace of the Saudi state, being transformed into a $14 billion cultural destination. This is not a commuter line. This is the mobility spine of Vision 2030. The client is the Royal Commission for Riyadh City, RCRC. Bids were submitted January 31, 2026. Post-tender clarifications ran through February and March. Commercial bids were opened in April. Award is expected in the second half of 2026. Now let's talk about what the winning contractor is actually delivering. This is a full design-build contract. Civil works, systems, rolling stock, testing, commissioning, all under one contract, one accountability chain. Pillar 1, Civil Infrastructure. 47 kilometers of TBM-driven tunnel through Riyadh's mixed geological profile, limestone, gypsum, and sabkha zones. 19 kilometers of elevated viaduct structures. 14 cut-and-cover and bored underground stations. 5 elevated stations. Depot facility. This is a massive civil program. Pillar TWO, rail systems. Full electromechanical package. Traction power. Third, rail electrification, consistent with the existing Riyadh Metro network, which operates on 750 VDC. Signaling, CBTC for driverless Goa for operation, same as Phase 1. SCADA. Communications. AFC. Platform screen doors. Ventilation and HVAC. Fire protection. Pillar 3, rolling stock. The contractor supplies the trains. This is the element that defines which OEM leads the consortium, because rolling stock is where the margin lives. Every bidding OEM, Alstom, Siemens, Hitachi, CRRC, is positioning their specific metro platform for this contract. Pillar 4, testing and commissioning. Full system integration testing. Trial operations to meet Goa for driverless performance benchmarks before handover. Pillar 5, network integration. Line 7 must connect to the existing Phase 1 network. Interchange stations with Lines 2 extension at Diriyah Central and with Line 4 at the airport corridor. The system's interface requirements are non-trivial. Pillar 6, IKTVA compliance. And this is the one that determines bid strategy in Saudi Arabia, but he'll come back to it at the end. Here is where this tender becomes genuinely fascinating, because the competition for this contract is a masterclass in global rail consortium strategy. For consortia submitted bids. Let me walk you through each one. Consortium 1, led by Alstom of France. Partners, Webuild of Italy, one of the world's largest civil contractors, and Nesma Partners, a well-established Saudi construction group. Design consultants, TIPSA, IESA, and ECOM. This is a powerful combination. Alstom already has Riyadh Metro references. They delivered the Metropolis rolling stock for lines 4, 5, and 6 in Phase 1. Webuild has tunnel building scale. And Nesma brings deep Saudi market relationships. Consortium TWO, led by Siemens Mobility of Germany. Partners, FCC of Spain for civil construction, Orascom Construction of Egypt, and Shib Al Jazeera, a major Saudi contractor. Designed by IDOM and Doha. Siemens delivered the Inspiro rolling stock and full systems for lines 1 and 2. They know this network. The interoperability argument for award is strong. Consortium 3, led by Hitachi Rail of Japan. Partners, Les and Tubro of India, Al-Bawani of Saudi Arabia, and Turkish powerhouses Kalyon and CNGIS. Designed by Sainair and Jacobs. This consortium has an interesting profile. LT brings exceptional civil and tunneling capability, Kalyon and CNGIS bring proven Saudi infrastructure execution, and Hitachi Rail brings the Sailtrack CBTC platform. Consortium 4, led by CRRC of China. Partners, Mappa and Limac, both major Turkish EPC contractors. This is the disruptive bid. CRRC's cost position is typically aggressive. Mappa and Limac have significant Middle East construction portfolios. For world-class teams. All credible. All capable of delivering this project. The evaluation will come down to price, IKTVA compliance, technical approach, and program risk. Let me zoom out for a moment, because this project doesn't exist in isolation. Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 program is the single largest infrastructure investment program in the world right now. The giga-projects that Line 7 serves, Qiddiya alone has a projected investment of $8 billion. Diriyah Gate, $14 billion. King Salman Park, 23 billion square meters of developed space. These are not paper projects. They are under active construction. And the common thread is that they need a transit spine to function at scale. Line 7 is that spine. Riyadh's metro network served 120 million passengers in 2025. That is in its first year of operation. The trajectory is steep. By 2030, the network is forecast to carry 3.6 million passengers per day. And beyond Line 7, the pipeline is already visible. Phase 2 also includes the Line 2 extension, which is already under construction by the Riyadh New Mobility Consortium. And Phase 3 plans include a Line 7 extension northeast to Con. ECT Diriyah Gate with new Murabba and King Khalid International Airport. For any contractor, supplier, or investor, the strategic play here is not just Line 7. It is the platform relationship with RCRC that Line 7 establishes. Now let me talk about the real challenges in this contract. Because no project of this scale comes without significant execution risk. Risk 1. Geology. Riyadh's subsurface includes sabkha, salt flat formations that create unpredictable ground conditions for TBM drives. Phase 1 contractors dealt with this. The 47 kilometers of tunnel on Line 7 represents a significant geotechnical program. Ground investigation data will be central to any competitive bid. Risk 2. Giga-project coordination. Line 7 must be built while Qiddiya, King Salman Park, and Diriyah Gate are themselves under active construction. The interface coordination challenges, access, logistics, design changes driven by master plan evolution are genuinely complex. The contractor owns that interface risk. Risk 3. Program. RCRC has been explicit about Vision 2030 timelines. The 2030 FIFA World Cup is a hard deadline for Saudi infrastructure. Line 7 needs to be operational in time to serve the giga-project destination. S for that event. Risk for systems integration. GOA for fully driverless operations require every subsystem, CBTC, traction power, PSD, SCADA, rolling stock, to be integrated and tested to the highest performance standards before commercial opening. The Phase 1 network took years to commission to full capability. Line 7 must do it faster. Against those risks, the opportunities. For main contractors and rail OEMs, the prize is significant. A $900 million design-build contract in one of the world's most active infrastructure markets. With a client, RCRC, that has a demonstrated track record of paying and delivering. For Tier 1 suppliers, every subsystem on this contract is a procurement opportunity. Traction power, CBTC signaling, platform screen doors, ventilation, escalators, AFC. The supply chain for a 65 km automated metro with 19 stations is deep. For consultants, RCRC has already tendered the project management consultancy contract separately. The design consortia are engaged. The supervision and assurance pipeline is active. And for investors and operators, the long-term operating contract for this line and the broader Riyadh network is a question that is already being asked in the market. RCRC has expressed interest in private sector participation in operations. Watch that space. I promised you at the start, the strategic detail that almost nobody is talking about. It is IKTVA, the In-Kingdom Total Value Add Program. Saudi Arabia requires contractors on major government projects to demonstrate a minimum percentage of value creation within the kingdom through local labor, local content, local manufacturing, and local partnerships. The IKTVA percentage is evaluated as part of the bid and carried a significant weight in the scoring. Here is why this changes the competitive dynamics completely. For a European or Japanese OEM, IKTVA compliance requires genuine Saudi manufacturing partnerships, not just a local agent. It requires training programs, technology transfer, and potentially local assembly of rolling stock components. The consortia that have positioned local Saudi partners with real industrial capability, not just commercial names, have a structural advantage that has nothing to do with the technical quality of their trains. Alstom already has a rolling stock maintenance joint venture in Saudi Arabia. Siemens has deep Saudi industrial relationships. Hitachi Rail's inclusion of Kalyon and CRRC, who have significant Saudi execution presence, partially addresses this. CRRC's IKTVA story will be interesting to watch. If you are a supplier being approached by any of these consortia, understanding your own IKTVA contribution is as important as your technical specification. Here is what you do right now. 1. Follow RCRC's official channels for the contract award announcement. It is coming in the second half of 2026. 2. If you are a systems or equipment supplier, every consortium is in active supply chain conversations. The window for being included in a winning bid is closing. 3. Subscribe to RailCompass. Next Thursday, in going deeper on the systems and supply chain map for this project, exactly who supplies what, and where the supply market is competitive versus concentrated. The full project reference document is in the description, free for subscribers. Riyadh Metro Line 7. The contract that 4 of the world's biggest rail companies are fighting for right now. The story is not over, I'll be covering the award when it happens.